Okay, here's a video I'm doing of installing the original XG Ford radio. Now, currently, I don't have a code for it. I have a source that may be able to get the code. I have seen on a few Ford forums where people are after the code and blah blah blah. If this works out for me, I'm going to put a link to their details, because it's a pain in the neck with these old school Ford radios. But back in the day they put a security code, and these days if you don't have the code, don't have the VIN number, they're impossible to get. And with Ford shutting down and stuff like that, so I ring up Ford and they're supposed to get back to you in 48 hours, and what happens? Well, Ford didn't get back to me. My request for the code was null and void. So I do have details for a place in Scoresby in Victoria. If it works out, as far as I know, you have to pay for it. I think something like $20, 25, something like that. I'm going to ring them up soon and see what the deal is, because I want this radio still working. Worst case scenario, I'll just leave it in there anyway, because it is an original Ford XG radio. These are what they look like, or at least one model of what they look like. This is 93, so this is the version that these ones come out with. So hopefully it'll come out. So what I'm doing with this one, also, if you've looked at my previous videos, I've got a USB modern radio that's actually on my console. So I got the original, oh sorry, not original, but a new aerial cord, which I then splined into one that's got the two males out of it. So it's got a male that's going into the radio at the moment, and this one, which I've got an extension for, will then go in to my USB model one as well. So technically, if I get both working, I can use radios on both if I needed to, if I wanted to, but they'll both have the outside antenna access. So yeah, that's where I'm up to at the moment. I've cleaned all on the inside with my insulation. That's all nice and clean. Today I'm also going to see about fitting or getting the fittings ready for my console. I think I've covered up a couple of things here where the consoles would normally have two holes to screw down at the very rear of them, and I think I've accidentally covered them over. They should be, I think, somewhere under here, and they also bolt up under the rear, underneath of the dash there too. You've got oh, where are they? They're somewhere up there. Yeah, I know they go up there somewhere. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do today. It would be great to get this code for this radio going. Good guy from Queensland Towing got me this, but he sent the wrong code down. He thought the code with the actual car, it could have been just a book out of another car maybe, and he helped me get this going. So but the code was wrong, so what can you do? I'm going to see what this place in Scoresby is like, and if they can guarantee and get me the code, I'll be very happy. Anyway, that's what I'm up to. Okay, now I'm back. I was just showing the error flashing message. On this occasion, it's 1:37. I started at 1:25 p.m. So it took it practically about 11 or 12 minutes, give or take, to bring back that code so you can re-enter the code. So I was looking at the forums, because when I got this radio, it had the error message on it. And what you do is you just leave the power on, and with the error message flashing, and then eventually give or take how many times I've been, what I read on the forums, how many times it's been entered could be how long the actual delay is. But for this one, 10 to 12 minutes, so that wasn't bad to get the original XG Ford radio back to original code. And I'll just punch in the code and see if everything works. Well, I'm back again. Guess what? Look what that's saying. That's giving you a clock. That's showing me good news, because I got the code for it off the people. I will put a link in the description. Now, there's no guarantee you're going to get the code if you've got this radio. He sent a code to test, maybe just hearsay from person to person to try this, try that. But the one I'm going to link in the description of where I got the code, they do Eurovox Commodore radios. They don't do these. He was going to send my email to another place if the code he sent didn't work, but no one's behold, it works.
Kick off the finals with a $5 Express footy combo. Grab any Coles Express 175 gram hot food
awesome.
with any Red Bull 250ml for just $5.
I'm over the moon. I'm really over the moon. And I've just put the code there, 1326. You can try it on your one. There's no big deal about codes on these radios. They're old, they're original. If this code works on your road, I'm very happy for you. I've put it in like a sort of divvy van sort of stickering, because the stickers that go on the siren controller that I built, they have the same sort of stickers, so it looks in key. So that's the code, 1326 for this radio, XG. Now, when I was looking for this radio on Marketplace, some people said there was another radio that went in XGs. Now these XGs are made from 1993 to 1996. This is the very first of the XG model, 93. This is the radios they come out with. Let me pause for a second. I'll show you what they next came out with. Okay, I'm back. Now, I forget where I even got this, but this is also, as far as I know, an XG radio as well. These might have come out in the 95 to 96 model. I'm sure they would have updated at one stage. But these XG, when it comes to XG Fords, they're made for 3 years, 93 to 96. So this is their first original radio. And this, I think, is what they went to and updated, because someone who said, oh, they were also in Ford Festivas and something else. Oh, forget what it was. Something else. They might have been, but yeah, they also came out in the XG Ford. So I think they updated with this model. This one's got missing buttons and stuff. But I wanted to put in this radio that belongs to it. So yeah, great news, got the code. I will put a link in the description of the guys who helped me, and for the Holden users, Eurovoxes, if you're trying to put the original radio in, they specify in Eurovox radios. So here I've got a code for that. I hope this link helps you out, and hope the guys there help you out. They definitely helped me out with this single code. It might have been just a very fluke, because there's a lot of codes for these radios as far as I know as well. So yep. So I've got my console here. I've been mucking around as well with the secondary radio. I had it powered and wired through the same loom as this, but when I pulled out the plug on this radio, this one would only show power but no volume. So I've disconnected, but the power wire ran from, I was using the power of this, so I think it was, I don't know, might have been just tripping the wires in the speakers or tripping the power, I don't know. I'm not an auto electrician, so it cut out the power on this one as far as volume. Even if I had this one turned off, it cut out the volume. So as soon as I pulled out the plug on this one, the volume came straight to this one. So I've taken the wires off the loom on there. I'm going to run that one separate totally with its power, with its own fuse, and because this is the retro looking radio that's on the side of my console, that's going to run my audio from VicPol, just old audio that they used to have. So it's going to sound pretty legit when you turn it up and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just trying to gather that, and I had to extend all these wires to then run underneath into the front of the console, because that goes right under there, and then yeah, the wires pretty much loop around and come back into it. So I had to extend all the wires again. But anyway, that was good news for today. Having the code. I won't put the music too loud because you can find and get breach of copyright. Sometimes I have music on in the background, but I can't help that. Everyone listens to music when they're working on cars most of the time, so yeah, they're quick to quickly say, "Oh, that's not your song," blah blah blah. Anyway, so that's good news. I can turn that off. So while the battery's on, I can turn that straight off, and you get your nice security code flasher going, and bang, and then I can awesome. It's good news today. Okay, just before I got out the Divi van, I ripped off the roof lining, well, at least 80% of it, because it's still hanging just on its last bits. Now this cord here, the green one, this actually lights the cage light that sits in the back, and that's another link. That's another thing that you find with Divis. This long green wire, and I found the other cut-off wire. It was sitting up here. I just was floppy there for a second, but it's this sort of wire. So that would have been cut there, and then it runs down, and this is what I found on the other, all stuffed up together, is the other section of it, which goes down to the floor powering. Now in the Divi vans, behind here, oh, it's not the best of lighting. Let me pause. Let me stop and get the light again. That's better. Definitely helps. Now, where is it? Where is it? Normally, so there's a bit of rubbish in there. All these bits and pieces you got to clean out. It should be like a 20-cent size piece, where the top lights with the wiring from the beacon lights came through. It would have come along this edge, which isn't too bad. It's only got some surface rust up here, which is good. And then onto that wire, which it's just hanging, but it goes all the way. There's part of the wire there. So it would have ran all the way around here. And give or take how good they did the body filling job or repair job, it is somewhere here or behind here. But I'll have to work that out from the outside, because they definitely cut a nice hole there to run the wire loom from the beacon lights. So that's another share as far as Divi van goes. But yeah, this green wire is linked all the way to your top light, and then that wire goes in and goes onto the light that goes onto the cage. So yeah, now I'm going to have to vacuum again this, because it just let go of a fair bit of stuff under this roof lining. These brackets, how they sit, these are a bit rusty as well, just moisture I guess. But as far as the actual roof in turns, it looks pretty good. Looks very good. A nice new windscreen. Guess what I've installed? Surveillance camera. It's going to be behind the actual roof lining. That is nice and solid. Get a very nice, if you look from its point of view, it pretty much gets, and there's my sausage sizzle, there it pretty much gets a very clear view and good position of where the actual mount goes to. So yeah, another interesting feature. And these are in a lot of American and English cop cars. They might have had them in Australia, I don't know, but yeah, this one came out of the UK as a working model. So yeah, that'll be good just to get some footage and see people's reaction to this car driving along. Yeah, so that's another feature I've started with.